My name is Dale Medica from Owia, resident from Owia. I'm here from day one since all the activities that take place in that Soufriere volcano. I always said to myself, I'm not moving, I'm gonna stick around. Main thing is to protect my property, right? In case of any like ash and so to fall and so. So I don't gear up already. So I'm not decide to move, go nowhere.
Where were you when the volcano erupted?
Well, I was home. I actually do some sandblasting the night before, the day before, and then in the morning I was priming a vehicle after the sandblasting, and then I saw I just hear like the explosion, So I watch up when I watched towards the mountain, I saw a lot of ash going up into the sky. So I continue save my son and then get my children out of harm's way. Make sure we already prepared that in the morning, Friday morning, they're gonna move to Beckway, right? So I'd have my driver already done standby, and then they move out, and I just stick around and just see the ash just coming towards like going St. Lucia side and Barbados side. So I just start to take pictures and then try hustle up and take up my son, because what I was saying now is like the amount of sun I have there, if the ash fall, they will contaminate my son. So I just make sure prepare my son properly, get them organized and start to cover up vehicle and so. While I was covering up vehicle, stones started to lash me and so, but I run for my gears and so forth. I have respirator, whole face mask and so, and helmet. So I was there right until that first ash fall and stone and so, and even get a bucket and a half of the ash, the stones. The ash didn't come first, the small grey stones and so, and start to come fall and so, and sand and so. So I make sure sift out some and then stash them away. And then from that I up and down, coming on hill, checking, see who gonna move and so. So I just stick around and see many things happen.
What did the explosion sound like to you?
Well, like it's like to me it's like a bomb, It's a big bomb just, burst. Sometimes you watch video and so on, you hear it's like an explosion, in a theater, something like that, you know. So I assume probably the volcano erupt. So that's why I watched towards mountain. Then I saw everybody start to run for, screaming and so on, and then I try to calm down some people. I say, oh, come on, this thing just gonna just blow for the day and probably stop.
But it's almost 2 weeks and it hasn't stopped.
Right, I know that, but I know some point at the time it will stop, Some point at the time, because during the Friday afternoon, about means to 3, it start real rampant, and it continues until during the night. And up to about after 1, my generator just shut down on me. So I had to come outside with my respirator and try to fix the generator. But during coming outside with a little sheet on me, sometimes I feel like I can't breathe because the respirator start to get clogged up. So I start to beat the respirator, and then start to find like I can't breathe properly. I have to run back in the house. Then at that time I say, boy, I can't go with this thing here. So I end up go by my next friend, because we already set up a next generator properly. So it's by him I went, and then start his generator. Within like 7 minutes, his generator shut down as well. I had to go back outside and prepare, get plyboard and so, because the whole intake filter black up with ash. So I had to run back inside because my filter, I figure I can't breathe, properly, because I can't see even, probably to get to the generator I had to probably boot up and things, because the flashlight is just sun I saw coming along and showing the light. So I just stick around and do my thing, get the generator running again, and then back into the house, and then, just listen for all the explosion, which one bust the hardest, And me and my partner with the kicks in and thing, and we drinking something, soft and thing. So we talking about, okay, if fire come, then I'm gonna make a move. If I ain't see fire, I'm gonna stick around. So probably like after, during sleep and wake, I'm monitoring, outside. Can't even see outside, and then I notice like minutes to 7, practically dark still.
In the morning or in the
In the
evening?
morning, like Saturday morning, like minutes to 7, about 20 minutes to 7, real dark outside. At that point, I almost like want to give up on her, but I say, this is gonna clear up. So I watch out St. Lucia, I watch the sky, I see a little wrong hole open up half in St. Lucia. So I just monitoring that, and about like say half an hour after, just kind of clear up. But during that clearing up there, it's still blasting. Ash and sand still falling and stone, and then probably,
When you say wrong hole, what do you mean?
well, in the sky. In the sky, I saw a wrong clear, I could see a blue sky, you know. So by the time I know it clearing up.
My name is Thaddeus Boyens.
And where you from, sir?
Fancy?
I understand that you spent the entire eruption here, is that so?
Yes, yes, sir.
Why did you choose not to evacuate?
Because I experienced it 71, 79. And I know the consequence of it. I say I have to end my mission to face it, that I could experience it more.
So you just wanted to experience it more?
Yeah.
So what was the experience like?
Well, the experience was really fine to me. But the Monday morning after the Europe, I hear something rolling, but was the river. But the river was rolling, coming down with a whole set of big tree inside of it.
Was there a lot of ash in Fancy?
Yes, that's the only problem we actually.
And how would you describe the eruption itself? What kind of songs were you hearing? And what kind of things, what were you seeing?
Well, almost the same like how thunder rolling when that start to spit out. Just so the rolling.
Were you scared at all?
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking about it.
Seriously?
Yeah. I know my God will protect me.
But also God gives us wisdom to choose to make wise choices.
Yeah, that was my choice. I want to see how much faith I have in Him.
Do you know if anybody else was in Fancy with you?
Well, the first blowout was five of us. But the other four of them run off. After the first one.
So they left?
Yeah, them left.
And you chose to
I choose to be stop alone. Because I come to I have a work to do and I want to do my work.
Which is what? What's the work?
To face in the judgment. Just to face in the judgment and see how strong I be in faith.
Do you know how many other persons stayed in Owia and did not evacuate?
Well, we check around say 16 posts in all. But after like I think it's the Monday, some coast guard came for some people, and I still saying okay, I ain't going. So I went and hide, But I just watching the coast guard, I went and hide, I say, I ain't moving, You have to come for me in handcuff. Because I ain't moving, I have my investment set up and I can't move,
Tell me a little bit more about your investment.
Well, actually I do sandblasting and so on, vehicle wiring and so forth. So I can't just leave them, to just go down the drain like that. So you have to struggle with the volcano to get them, secure them,
But what would you say to people who would say, well, you're actually risking your life for property?
Not really, Why, you see, honestly, I know what happened to me transpired like 2 years ago, like the December flood, wherein that water go through my property, damage some property walls and so for me, and then 2 persons came from the government. I give them an estimate, they take down and they never give me nothing. So I just to stay back, I just say, okay, government, if my place break down, government is not gonna give me because I'm a full NDP supporter. Everybody know that. So I just say I just stick around to take care of my things then. So actually, is that who wanna say bad about me? It's me, just me. You know, I'm doing them thing here a long time. I when rock gutter tragedy, I drove my daughter hospital and came back and pull out a dead girl out the sea. So you know, I'm a right wrong. I'm just toad. You know, I just there.
You see, you're Toad. That's what they call you, Toad.
Yeah, that's my plain name, Toad. So.
What would you say was the worst of the eruption? You said you wanted to give up.
Well, because the dust, you know, it's like you can't breathe. And I try to go where palm trees and the palm trees like dung, you know. Same like how I am with a small sheet, no wind in blowing, you know, just as I'm coming up, you know, all over. So it's like, you know, you're in a respirator. Because sometimes I push myself to the limit when I'm sandblasting, you know. Sometimes I have to beat them here in order to breathe. Sometimes I find I just breathe in high. So if I know I'm breathing high, I know my respirator start to clog up. So sometimes I beat them and, you know, I get much better. But when it comes to extreme point that I feel myself going more higher in breathing, sometimes I just leave and go and clean them and then come back again. You know, so that's the only point in time because my respirator started to get clogged up.
So, when the Coast Guard came, you said there were 16 people you knew who remained. How many of them left?
Well, the Coast Guard work with, well, five of us remain, so which means 11. Yeah, 11.
So these 5 people, who are they and do you know what they've been doing in the community?
Well, they was helping us like on roof and so, cleaning roof and so during the Saturday evening. Well, actually, I first person started, actually, I started on my roof the Saturday morning about around after 9.
So that's the day after the eruption?
Yeah, the day after the eruption. So they join in and they help us. We go on a lot of people's house roof and so we like most damage. You know, almost to drop in, we try to pull out some we can't save, they drop in. So Sunday we up again on top houses and so. And then we just watch the blasting. But from that, nothing really serious happened again from Owia, you know. So I say, okay, this was his first doom, Owia get it. So I just believe nothing. So but the biggest explosion was Sunday afternoon. Because the lightning, tell you honestly, that was the biggest. And it's like I hear a high noise up there like it vacuum, like whoa, you know, sucking back. And then it busts again and then I didn't really see nothing much. So from that point of time I say, watch, this gonna get much thing to, you know, throw off. You know, so I just get confidence in myself.
But the experts are saying differently, the geologist Professor Robertson.
Well, they have their point. I mean, my you know, it's like sandblasting, you know, it's something like that because if I sandblast in light and if I sandblast in horizontal, I ain't get much strain on the hose. But if I sandblast in vertically, you get real pressure. I have to sometimes just wear my hand and so. So I just, you know, I just say, watch, the volcano is something like that, you know. So when it's done, it's like, you know, you have nothing to push out much. So I just stick around.
All when the volcano bloom, they will wonder if you are right and all kind of thing.
What kind of work do you do?
Agriculture work.
A farmer?
Yeah.
So how did your crops fare? Did your crops survive?
Oh no. Everything burn. The ashes, burn them down.
What did you have planted?
Potato, white yam, dasheen, all them things in.
Is that your main source of income?
Well, that way I make a living off.
How much money do you think you lost?
Well, that's a good question, but it might be a hard answer to answer because it could be a couple of $1,000 as well.
And how would that affect you over the next few months?
Well, it could be a hard start over again. Must have to be a hard start over.
But are you prepared to do it?
Yeah. Once I get a little help from whosoever.
Can I ask you how old you are?
I 65.
What kind of damage, if any, did the volcano do in the community?
Well, the only damage I see is one horse roof drop in. That's the only thing on the river. And my boat, two things.
What happened to the river?
Well, a lot of tree come down in the river. If you go by the river or by the bridge, you go see the big damage done out there.
So the scientists have said that the eruption has not ended. Are you going to continue to stay?
Yeah, I'm sticking up. As I tell you, I have a work to do and I want to finish my work.
So what about your family? Did they stick around or they left?
No, them left.
And how did they feel about you staying here?
Well, I know they could feel funny about it. Think about me. But after the first suffering, some people come up here, so I tell them to tell my people them I are alive still.
All right, thanks a lot. You're one brave man.
My friend, I tell God I believe in too, you know. I don't believe in man.